All right, good evening. How are you doing? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing this beautiful evening? It's Friday. It's beginning to look like I come live most times on Fridays in the evening, right? Because I remember I was live last Friday because I was saying, thank God it's Friday, and I was asking what everyone was doing for Friday. So, good evening and welcome to this live impromptu. So, I like to pop in here from time to time. You're going to be seeing me. In the next few days, you're going to be seeing me pop in here to say what's up and all of that. So, I like to pop in here when I want us to have conversations, especially when we are talking about a particular thing for time, and that thing is really pressing on my spirit, and all that. So yes, today let's have a little chit chat, maybe for 10-15 minutes, right? So we can discuss, something around our young children and our preteens. Okay, even your teenagers. All right, so there's something that we do as parents, right, that we don't even realize. Okay, and most times this happens with parents who are still in that space where they feel, you shouldn't be telling me how to raise my child, you shouldn't be telling me. Parents who use mantras like, there is no manual for parenting and all of that. So why it's okay to have your own view and perspective. That's one thing that have learned to respect, a lot. Okay, people's perspective. Why it's okay to have this perspective. It's also very important that we are paying attention to the trends, to the things that are happening around us, and that we're going back to look at, past trends. We're looking at history. We're looking at where we're coming from and how far we've come. We're looking at studies, people who have taking their time to do some studies in order to understand the things that happen around us. Because if every time we have to argue, every time we have to push back, or every time we have to castigate people who are trying to make a difference in certain area, and we're doing it only from the point of our emotions, simply because we don't feel, how we do many of the things we do from the place of feelings. So if you're coming only or solely from the place of how you feel, what you think, okay, then you may want to stop and check, right? You may want to stop and check, to see that you are actually making a good argument, or you're not just exhibiting, how easy it is for you to get emotional about certain things. All right. And then another thing that I've come to realize is a lot of times we fight the very things that we struggle with, because it's something that we're struggling with, right? It's something that we're struggling with personally. When people come to try and make it easy, or try to point, at what makes it obvious that you are making mistakes, or what makes it obvious that there is work you need to do in a particular area, it takes emotional intelligence to like really embrace it. It takes, a lot of that to embrace it. So many times what you get is people push back, or we fight back when it's something that, you know, we know that we're guilty of, or something was struggled with for the longest time, and it doesn't seem like there's a way out. So we want to believe that every other person is struggling and is not having a way out, just as we are. But we need to understand that we're struggling with certain things doesn't mean that the whole world is struggling with it. So sometimes you want to pay attention to those who are not struggling, and then you learn what it is that they've done, or what it is that they are doing, so that you can become better. All right. Many of us have overcome that whole ego thing, where we have to argue with the things that we don't know how to get results from. So we have humbled ourselves, and we have come to the place where when we see someone who is doing it better, when we see someone that is getting results, we jump in there and we want to know what you're doing. And that's what a lot of us have done, in the area of parenting. That's one thing that I have done in the area of parenting. I've come to the point where if you are doing something that is working and I am struggling with it, I am jumping right there to find out what it is that you are doing, because parenting really doesn't have, it doesn't really have an end, basically. And there's no, you don't get to a point and you say, something, I got it all, right? You don't get to the point where you say, I have figured it out and I can do all things and all that. So for some of us who come in here and some of us who come in here to talk about parenting and share strategies and tools and all of that, it's because we are constantly learning, right? So it's because we're constantly learning, because we're constantly seeking. Okay, and so because we seek, we're finding. And the truth is, I could be here speaking to you about something today, and the next time I'm here, next month or next year, I'm here speaking about that thing. I'm going to be speaking about it with more knowledge, because over the years, I have learned even more. So parenting is an ongoing concern. And in the moment you put your heart to it, you would keep finding new things. You will keep getting new experiences. You will keep encountering people with different experiences. And that's what makes you a better parent, actually. The fact that you connect with other people's experiences, you connect, with your situation, you are looking for solutions, you're finding new strategies and new tools and all of that. And that's how you get better. So let's talk about the fact that our children need us to continuously raise the bar. All right. So what we don't do in many cases is we don't raise the bar in our parenting. So you find parents that, you're arguing about the fact that the child is probably too young to learn something. So you hear people say things like, I beg, let the children breathe, let children rest, let children be children, and all of that. Now, when you hear that conversation, let children be children, and the conversation is coming from the place where someone is trying to empower children, or someone is trying to get children to be independent. Many times, people who are vocal about letting children be children will come in, or will come for you, all right, when you're trying to make children be independent. Now, when that is the case, now, sometimes I want to stop and really look at it. Is it like you're overstretching the children? Because for some of us, in the bid, to equip our children, we may actually be overstretching them. All right. For some of us, in the bid to equip our children, we may actually be giving them tasks or doing things that are not age appropriate. So as a parent who is intentional, you want to ensure that at every point, whatever it is you're doing with your children, whatever it is that you're teaching your children, is within the child's capacity, or within the child's, ability, more like, in that season. So you want to make sure that for every lesson, for every learning, for every skill, you are delivering it to the child in an age appropriate way. Okay. Now, when you do this, then the child is able to learn. More than that, you want to make sure that you are looking for the most fun way and the most pleasant way for the child to learn, because children really learn when they have fun with what they are doing. Okay, children learn why they play. All right, I have said this many times, that what you are doing with the child, that the child is getting a sense of satisfaction from, you may call it learning, you may call it chore, you may call it whatever you want to call it. For a child, it is play, provided there is a sense of satisfaction that is coming from that thing, and there is fun going on with that thing. So you could actually be doing the dishes in a fun way, and as far as a child is concerned, they are playing. You could actually be cooking in a fun way, and the child is playing. You can actually be folding clothes in a fun way, and the child is playing. So that's why play is essential, right? That's why we talk about play, as a means, okay, or play as an approach to learning. If you are not applying play as an approach to learning in your home, okay, or having your children learn, then you need to come to us. Let's help you. All right. Our team of toddler parents and preschool parents, our team of toddler and preteen coaches are always available. We one arm of the academy that is focused on toddler and preschool education. So if you're a parent that is still struggling with helping your children learn in the most fun, authentic and easy way, if you're struggling with that, please reach out. Let us help you. We have resources, we have courses, we have free courses, we have free downloads, okay? And then we have, of course, the ones that you pay for. But we have loads of resources that can help you, because that is what you should be doing for parents with young children. That's what you should be doing. This is how you should introduce children to doing productive things. Introduce them to productive things through play. Introduce them to learning through play. Introduce them, okay, to everything that you want them to do by making it fun and helping them get a sense of satisfaction from it. I like to use this formula. If you've been following me, then you should know this formula. The formula is that activity plus a sense of satisfaction is equal to motivation. So the moment the child is doing an activity that the child is drawing or getting a sense of satisfaction from, okay, getting a sense of satisfaction from, then the child is motivated. So that sense of satisfaction, or the satisfaction that comes from the activity, becomes the motivation for the child. So you see, the child can easily, okay, willingly, right, embrace the activity. And why the child embraces the activity, and the child is learning from a place of pleasure, is learning from a place of willingness, then learning happens, right? Learning happens the moment there isn't stress, the moment there isn't force, the moment the child is not being dragged, right? Then the child is learning. I hope you know that it's not every time that the child is doing something that the child is learning. Some of our children actually go to school and they do all of the activities and all of that, and they are actually not learning. Real learning is not happening. But when there is a sense of satisfaction, then the child is actually learning. So you want to do that. You want to get the child to the point where the child does these things, with a sense of satisfaction at the back of it. All right. So now when you do this, it means that you can introduce the children to chores as early as possible. You can introduce them to anything that will help them become independent. So we were born to be independent. The goal, all right, when we're birthed, basically, when we're birthed, the goal is that we will all be independent. So your child was born for independence. Okay, independence is the end game, right? Independence is the goal. Independence is the end game. So when your child is given to you as a custodian, the job is more or less, hey, you parents, or hey, you Mary Beth, okay, this is assuming this is God talking to you. It's more like, hey, you, okay, I'm blessing you and I'm giving you this gift of this child. Please help them find their way towards becoming independent. So for so period of their lives, you are going to guide them. You are going to model to them. You're going to direct them. Okay, but ultimately, you're trying to get them to the point where they are independent, where they are autonomous, and they can navigate the world effectively. The watchword, or the with emphasis on the word effectively. There are so many adults, there's so many young there's so many teenagers, so many young adults, so many old people who are actually navigating the world, but they are not doing it effectively. If we do it effectively, then we become productive, we become people of impact, and we become people who are what's the word now? We become people who are satisfied. Basically, you get a sense of satisfaction. You become someone who can impact the world, impact your community, impact the people around you, basically, and you are productive, basically. So this is the goal, that they become independent. So yes, from the word go, right, our children should learn independence. So let no one tell you, or let no one guilt trip you when you are helping your children build skills. When you are helping your children, you're guiding your children to build skills. Let no one at all guilt trip you. Your job is to make sure that for whatever it is that you're introducing to the child, I'm repeating this again because of how important it is. For whatever it is that you're introducing to your children, you are introducing it in a fun way that the child will get a sense of satisfaction from, and it is appropriate for the child's age. For instance, you cannot get your children to start, you can get your 2-year-olds, for instance, to probably sweep the floor, right? The child to probably sweep the living room or something like that. The child may not be able to do a good job at it, or it may even be too, the vacuum cleaner or whatever means you're using may be too heavy for the child's hands and all of that. So you realize that the child hasn't gotten the physical strength, right? Or the the motor skills for that kind of activity. So that's what we're saying. Look at activities that are appropriate for the child's age. I mean, these things are everywhere. If you go online, go on Google, even go to Pinterest or any of the sites, and actually Google activities for, putting your child's age. It will give you ideas for the kind of activities that your child should be doing. Okay. And of course, if you are a toddler parent or a parent of, a preschooler, then you should join our community. We have a robust community on WhatsApp, right? We have a robust toddler and preschool parents community. You should hop in there. All right. So if you would like to join that community, just put in the comment right here. Okay. On any of the platform that you're joining me from, just put it there. You would like to join the toddler community. It's a robust community. And as I said, we have all sorts of, all kinds of resources, materials, and support for you. I mean, if you are parents of children about this age. All right. So yes, it is God's plan that your child is independent. So the earlier you introduce them to independence, the better. Now let me tell you what, when you have those people who argue with you or try to guilt trip you or make you feel like you're doing too much. All right, I shade you. They're trying to make you feel you're doing too much. This is what happens to people like that. All right. Now these parents or these people have good intentions most times for their children. All right. And so what happens is these children are not meant to do anything that is domesticated or domestic, anything that is domestic, basically because they are children. And so there are people who tend to them, they're nannies, they're all of the different kinds of people, or maybe one person who does a lot of these things because the child is supposed to be a child and is meant to be a child. Now, usually when you check, what do you see with this child that is a child? You realize that this child that is a child is binging on TV, has an iPad, has an iPhone, or has some gadgets and all of that. The child is constantly, most times people who argue like this would tell you the child should be watching TV, the child should be relaxing. That's what children do. Okay, now in truth, that is the person that is actually not allowing the child be a child. So yes, if you are on that table where you are living and telling telling yourself, your children are still too young. They are 2, they are 4, they are 6, they are too young. They shouldn't be doing chores yet, because we have parents ask us, at what point should my children start doing chores? Dear parents, your child should start doing chores as soon as they have control of their limbs, they have control of their hands, and they have control of their legs, meaning the child can walk on his own, and the child can move this. Then the child is ready. Start with age appropriate activities. All right. Now, for parents who keep arguing, that argument we're talking about, okay, or are on that WhatsApp group or on that table where we're waiting for the children to be a particular age, what happens to you is you don't know it. Before you understand what's going on, the child becomes that 4 years or that 5 or 6 years that you are looking at. And what happens by the time they get to 4, 5, or 6 that you are looking at, you realize that they have little or no skills for that, at that period. All right. So they have little or no skills at that period that you are now ready for them to start being independent. And because they do not have the requisite skills at that time, you'll find that you are still helping them and other people are still helping them. Now, what is going on with this child is the child is already outgrowing window opportunity for learning in the most authentic way. This is the challenge. So when parents come to me and say, or when parents say, did we do these things at a particular age? Have you seen it? Someone has said to me, have you seen an adult who cannot lace their shoes? And I smiled when the person said that. I actually smiled, because this person does not understand that if that adult, the adult you're referring to, whoever that adult is, if that adult had learned to lace his shoe when he was probably 3 or 4, the requisite skills or the accompaniment skills that the person would have gained during that period, the confidence that the person gained by being able to achieve that feat when they were 3, the confidence that the child built from their ability to do that thing, that adult that learned to lace their shoe when they were 13 or 14 will never know that level of confidence. That's the thing, all right? Because there is a window period for children to learn certain skills in the most authentic way. It is said that when children learn certain skills during the window period, the brain is recalibrated, right? The brain's architecture is recalibrated, and the foundation for that skill is established. So after that time, every other thing is built on. So you see, children who start learning certain skills early build authentic, they build, what do you call it? They build so much skills through confidence, through the confidence that this winning, right? The confidence that winning brings, the confidence that achievement brings, self-sufficiency, confidence, high self-esteem. All of that is built when the child begins to learn early. And remember, the scientific part of it, the brain structuring, okay, now opens the child, right? This foundation experience is created, and the child has this experience forever. And then, of course, after that, the child begins to build on their experiences. I hope you know that everything that we're doing today, everything you're doing at 30 and 40 and 50 is building on past experiences. Yes, the working memory is building on the past experiences that you've had. So yes, when you do, we can't go into this. This is a very short class. But hey, dear parents, let no one ever tell you that your children shouldn't learn skills as early as possible. Prep your children, prep yourself. And you know the good part about these things, it's not a big deal. It's small things. Yes, it's as small as having your 2-year-old take their plates to the kitchen. It's as small as having them hold the sponge and rub against a plate. What's the big deal there? And it's as simple as that. Yet, if you know what you are helping the child build, executive functioning skill is setting in right there. The child begins to learn how to take initiative. The next time, the moment you have introduced this, you realize subsequently when the child eats, the child takes the initiative to take his plate and take it to the kitchen. The child takes the initiative to get the sponge, get the liquid, wash and all of that. What you are doing is you are getting that child to problem solve, to take initiative, to solve a problem. All of these things are going on there. The child may get in there and the child washes and you touch it and you're like, oh, it's not very clean, you need to try again. You're helping the child build resilience. So it's not about the thing that is right in front of us. It's not just about, that activity that you want the child to do, or the result you want to get as a result of the child doing that activity. It's more like the accompaniment skills that the child is building by simply doing what they have to do. All right. So yes, it is our job to get our children to that space. And it's only when your child is already in that space that you can begin to raise the bar. You can begin to raise the bar. So by the time your child is getting to 6, when their contemporary or the parent that has been arguing, right? By the time the parent that has been arguing, the child is 6 and it's now time for the child to start, you realize that your child has already built stamina in this skill. Your child is already specialized in this skill. Parents, do you know that specialization is something that God wants each of us to have? Each of us should be specialized in an area. Okay, I was sharing yesterday in a group on Instagram, and I said that, do you know that when when Jacob was blessing his children, he blessed them one after the other, blessed them based on each person got a different blessing. Right? Specialization. This is yours, take it. This is yours, take it. So that way we still continue to need each other, and yet we are specialized in what it is that was specialized. So yes, get your children to learn these things and do. As your children are building skills, as your children are trying out things, you keep watching them as a parent, and you begin to see patterns in their life, and you begin to see the things that your children are good at. See, parents, parenting is really about being strategic. If you're not a visionary parent, you are not going to be able to give your child the advantage that will set them apart. Okay, so yes, you need to be a parent who continues to raise the bar. And raising the bar is only when you know when to introduce, okay, or to introduce them as early as possible into skills, and then begin to raise the bar gradually, gradually. As you do that, you're filling up different spaces or different gaps in their lives. You're filling up gaps in their life. Okay, for instance, you will get to a point and you need to fill their financial education or financial awareness gap. I hope you know that if you're parents raising a child in the 21st century, then you should be teaching your children financial skills. Financial skills is so relevant right now that I don't even know why schools don't have a whole, entrepreneur department or entrepreneur as a subject. We should have that. That's how important financial skills are. Financial skills are so important that our children should actually have, they actually should actually interact with money. We should give our children opportunity to interact with money so that they can build the right money habits, and we can watch the kind of money habits that they have. Do you know, for a parent who has a child who is a spend there's a spontaneous buyer, or someone who is a spend, what's it called, spend whatever, a spontaneous buyer, someone who just keeps buying, buying, buying. Do you know that if as a parent you paid attention, this could be actually a financial habit that the child established long ago. It is said that by the time the child is 7, the child already has their financial behavior, because they would have picked it from the adults in their lives, especially their parents. So if you're that parent that you don't ever have money, you're constantly complaining about money, your children are picking this. If you're that parent that everything in the house will spoil, you are okay, you keep moving about like that, your children will speak that anyhowness, basically. So by the time your child is 7, they've already established their financial behavior, basically. But if you're not paying attention, then you're not able to help the child unlearn some of these things. You're not able to nip certain things in the bud. But if you're paying attention, then you are able to help them, with all of this, with all of these things. And then apart from that, the biggest part of financial education is being able to help your child build the right financial mindset. Financial mindset is key. Okay, in December I wrote this book, right? Raising the Financially Smart Child. In December, this book is for children 10 and above. It's on Amazon, and of course we have physical copies all around Nigeria in case you want to order this for your 10-year plus. Amazing book. In this book, I didn't jump right into, children should be saving money and all of that. No, I went straight for their minds. Yes, because it is very key that your children have the right mindset when it comes to money and creating wealth. Abundance mindset is something that you want to introduce your children to. But do you know that it's not the easiest thing to teach? Because really, you can actually be a wealthy person and yet you don't know how to help your child build an abundance mindset. For some people, okay, when they talk about abundance mindset, okay, the only thing you can think of is making sure that they have everything that they need, making sure that I've heard someone say, you hear all kinds of things. I've heard someone say, oh no, for my girls, I've heard that many times. Parents actually brag and they say, oh, I can deprive my boys of money, but I give my daughters money because I don't want them, one man, to come and shine money around them, and they think that because of money they're following a man. That is not really an empowering financial mindset. But we glory on the fact that we use some of these principles and we make it seem as if it's a fact, or it's some good financial mindset that we're helping our children. No, it's not. It's something that you're doing all right, but it's not how to help them build the right financial mindset. There is a way. There are so many principles. Yes, there's so many principles that we can tap into to help our children build an abundance mindset. So because I know this, okay, and I've been able to do this with the children who have passed through me over the years. In fact, I have a 14-year-old son that has run a business for 5 years. Yes, our son has sold juice. Yes, juices with 5 different variants for 5 years. He has been in business like every week, every day, apart from twice where we have gone on vacation and he had to lock up. Apart from that, for the last 5 years, he has supplied orange juices every day, every week for the last 5 years. Okay, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of motivation, self-motivation. And the cool part about it? Cool part about it is he gets to do this knowing full well that he can walk away from the business at any point that he wants. So you see, but at every point he keeps, in fact, as a matter of fact, today we still had a conversation and I said, because he didn't have any products today and he wasn't doing anything about the products. And basically the weekends around the corner, most of his sales done during the weekends. And I'm like, it doesn't seem like you're ready to have, at this point, I don't know, you're tired, you want to just back off. And it's like, well, how now, mommy, why? But, he just keeps, let me get to it. So basically knowing that he can walk away, but he's been in it for 5 years. For those of us who are entrepreneurs, you know what it is to be in business for 5 years, right? So it takes a lot. And so when I say I want to have a conversation, on this matter, then I'm the right person that should be talking to you about this. Okay. My niece had lived with me, came to stay with me when she was 16 and all of that. And while she was here, she learned, to sew and all of that. Now she is in school and she actually volunteers in, they have some lady who does, sewing and all of that, and the school, like the officially accepted person who is there. She actually goes in there to volunteer and work with a woman every now and then in a private school, in Nigeria these days where you can't do so much. So you see, it's a mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a whole mindset, and it takes understanding certain principles to be able to pass down this mindset. So tomorrow I'm having this class. Yes, it's a pathway to helping your child, to teaching your child financial and entrepreneurial skills, basically. Okay, I'm having this masterclass tomorrow, Saturday the 4th, right? I'm having this masterclass at 7 p.m. tomorrow. All right, you can be a part of that masterclass if you would like to. Okay, you should be. Okay, you should be. I'm not calling you to come and teach you how to make money. I can't. I'm not a financial expert. Okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about how to help your child believe in the vision that you have, how to help your child key into their mindset, the mindset that you've been able to help them create. Basically, how to help your child believe and trust you enough to connect or to be in sync with your vision, enough for the child to begin to self-motivate and direct themselves, especially in the area of financial education. So if you'd like to be a part of that class, okay, why don't you go ahead and take a screenshot? Okay, I think we have the details right here on our screen. To join that class, you just 1K. I forgot to say that. It's a 1,000 Naira course. It's a class that I want to actually give to parents for free. But I realize a lot of times when we see free things, we just do anyhow. We don't even want to commit, we just move. So we are giving you access to that class for just 1,000 Naira. 1,000 Naira. And it really doesn't matter. 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, we would teach that class. 100 we would teach in that class as if there are 1,000 people in that class. I will pour everything because I know that the moment these principles are known, they are learned, then we will raise more children who are financially smart and who can embrace entrepreneurship as a skill. I don't even want to go into that whole entrepreneurship thing right now. So let's leave it for the class. This class is tomorrow. It is only 1,000 naira. So tell me why you're not going to join the class. 1,000. All right. Tell me why you're not going to join the 1,000 naira class. Just think about it like what you're giving, to a security man as you drive out of a compound. But you should join that class. You will be blessed for it. You will go with nuggets for every phase of your child's life, right? To start building entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurial skills and money habits, because our templates, our templates and our money blueprint begins right from when the children are 0 to 3. So yes, it doesn't matter how young your child is, there'll be something for you to go with. There'll be something for you to learn in that class. So why don't you go ahead and use the information? Just take a screenshot. Okay, we have our account number right there. At the end of the class, we'll put the seller link in case you're not in Nigeria and you would want to pay on seller. You can go ahead and pay on seller and join this class. All right. So go ahead and be a part of this. It's going to be an amazing, amazing class. I promise you. It will be fun. Okay. It's going to be a fun class, and we will break tables and we'll repair tables and get you on the journey. All right. To achieving more with your children. All right. So let me also invite you for something special that is happening in May. If you look on the screen, on my screen right now, okay, my screen has changed. You have the Mastermind Conference 2024. Okay. The Mastermind Conference is a conference for children. It's a conference for young children, preteens, and just teens. So if you have children between ages 7 and 15, this conference is for them. I am excited about the Mastermind Conference. It's a conference for young people by young people. Don't worry, I have all this energy inside of me. I was talking money and mindset, so I needed to be calm so that you can get it. That is not a gra thing. All right. So yes. So the conference happens next weekend. Yes, it's here. It's almost here. It's just 7 days away, and you need to rush. You need to hurry and register your child for that conference. It's a weekend conference, so there is no excuse. It's from Friday evening at 4 or 5 p.m. our first session through Sunday, so the children can be a part of this. And even for your kids in boarding school, you would have replay if you register for this conference, and so you have access to the conference. All right, when they come back, you can get them go through the sessions. Amazing sessions. We have young people that will be sharing their journey, young children who are already walking the path of purpose, who are already daring to be productive, daring to stretch themselves, children who are already living the scripture that says, out of your belly shall flow rivers of waters. Children who are ready to tap into all that God has put within them and let it flow already. So they'll be sharing their experiences, their mistakes, their wins, where they are championing and how they are impacting the world. So you want your child to be in that conference. There is nothing that inspires a young person like a story that is authentic, like a story that is tangible, like something that is close enough that they can reach. And what more can a child reach than another child like themselves sharing an experience that is relatable? It's one thing to have adults talk to children, it's another to have children talk to children. So if your child will not attend any conference in this year, let them attend this one. It doesn't matter how many adult conferences they attend, let them make sure that they attend this conference for children by children. Thank you very much for being here. So you have the information right here, or just send us a message. Our phone numbers are everywhere: 08130621566. Apart from that, in the group, just put it there in the comments on Facebook or on Instagram. Oh, sorry, on YouTube. Put it right there in the comments. Okay, that you want the link, and we'll share the link with you so that you register your child. And don't just register your child, send the link to as many friends as possible, your neighbors, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your brothers and sisters. Send it to them so that they can get their children on board. It will be a transformational experience, and your children will be blessed indeed. Apart from that, we have a parent roundtable session where I have brought you the best of the best when it comes to parenting and visionary parents. We will have a whole table of experts, parenting experts and visionary parents. I mean, some exceptional kind of parents who are doing 1,001 with their children. So you do not want to miss this one. All right. So just go ahead and register for the conference. There's something for you, and there's a lot for the children. Thank you for joining me. If you got value from the session, why don't you tell us in the comments that you did? If you're catching the replay, let me know where you joined me from. All right. Apart from that, I'm signing out. My name is Maribeth Chima. Always excited to be a part of your journey and to share one or two nuggets with you. Thank you for joining me this evening. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. And God is Friday. Have fun. All right, then. Bye.